Why is it that generation after generation of Indian families mortgage their homes, sacrifice their savings, and even risk their futures just to send their children thousands of miles away? Why is it that so many believe that life outside India is automatically a better life? And most importantly, after decades of chasing this cycle, the question must be asked, is the dream even real anymore? For decades, foreign lands, especially the West, have been painted as magical destinations. Skyscrapers, clean streets, big houses, fat paychecks. From glossy magazines to Bollywood storylines, the American dream became the ultimate fantasy, a dream of wealth, status, and respect. But behind that glitter lies a truth very few talk about, a truth made of deportation notices, endless visa lotteries, decades-long waits, and rules so strict that one small mistake can uproot entire families overnight. The story usually begins with hope. A young student, ambitious and eager, boards a plane to the United States, Canada, or Australia. Their parents have spent years saving. Sometimes they mortgage their homes, sometimes they drain their life savings, sometimes they rely on loans, believing this sacrifice will secure a brighter future. Once abroad, the student studies hard, often excelling. Many land good jobs and start earning quickly. Some even repay their loans faster than expected. But here's the part that families in India rarely hear about. The real challenge begins not with education, not with employment, but with legality and compliance. In the US, the law gives a new graduate only a narrow window of time to find a job. Miss that deadline, and the student must return to India, sometimes with debt, but always with heartbreak. Even if employment is secured, the real battle is for the H-1B visa. It's not simply about talent, it's about chance. Each year, about 65,000 visas are released, but nearly 700,000 to 800,000 applicants compete for them. The odds? Barely 1 in 10. This isn't a merit-based system, it's a lottery. An Indian student may have studied in America, worked hard, topped their field, but their future still depends on the luck of a random draw. One's life, family, and financial security are reduced to a lottery ticket. Even those lucky enough to secure the H-1B soon realize it's far from permanent. The visa comes with a 3-year validity, extendable once more for another 3 years. Beyond that, unless the employer files for a green card, the worker must leave the U.S. for a year before reapplying. And here lies the cruelest twist of all. For Indians, the green card waiting line is not counted in months or years. It is counted in decades, 35 to 50 years. That's the waiting period as per official estimates. This means an Indian professional could spend their entire working life in America, paying taxes, buying homes, raising children, yet never truly belong. Always temporary, always at risk. Imagine giving the best years of life to a country that legally ensures you will never be accepted fully. Is that the success so many chase, or is it a lifetime of compromise dressed up as a dream? For the ultra-rich, there exists a shortcut, the EB-5 program. Invest $800,000, nearly 7 crore rupees, and secure a direct path to residency. But there's a catch. The money must be used in American regions of high unemployment, and it must create at least 10 American jobs. Think about that irony. Indians are asked to pour crores not into India, but into rural America, so that American families can have jobs and security. An Indian millionaire can buy U.S. residency, but only by serving America's economy. What if that same money was invested back home? How many Indian jobs could be created? How many startups could be launched? How many futures could be secured without leaving India's soil? Some Indians tried finding loopholes. Certain universities and hospitals are exempt from the H-1B cap, so a few migrated into those sectors. Others looked toward the E-2 visa, which allows entrepreneurs to set up businesses in America. But here came another insult. India isn't even eligible for the E-2 visa. Smaller countries, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, even tiny Caribbean nations, qualify, but not India. Why? Because policymakers in Washington fear that if the doors open to Indians, millions would flood in overnight. It isn't about fairness. It's about fear, fear of Indian potential. Here is where ground reality comes in. Yes, some Indians did succeed, and their stories are inspiring. Within just a few years of leaving India, a software engineer wasn't only earning well, he was buying multiple properties, building wealth at a pace he could never have imagined during over a decade of working in India. And these stories are not isolated. For many who migrate, life abroad does offer real advantages. The systems work. Public transport is reliable. Cities are cleaner. Infrastructure is world-class. Healthcare, while expensive without insurance, is among the best in the world when covered. For children, education is structured, exposure is global, and opportunities often appear limitless. Even the simple experience of walking home late at night in safety or accessing Social Security benefits during unemployment creates a sense of stability that many Indian families value deeply. There is also the financial factor. In certain countries, salaries stretch further, housing loans are easier, and credit systems allow young migrants to build wealth much faster than they could back home. For some, the combination of hard work, discipline, and a supportive system creates outcomes that change entire family legacies. Yes, migration can create wealth faster. Yes, those who are hungry, disciplined, and strategic often rise higher than they ever dreamed possible. But, and this is the truth even many successful migrants admit, the landscape has shifted. Since 2018, pathways have narrowed. Australian PRS are harder to secure. Canada's job market is flooded, with wages stagnating. The UK has raised its barriers. The US has layered visa lotteries, compliance traps, and decades-long waiting periods. The promise of endless opportunity abroad is no longer what it once was. The perks remain, but the price to reach them has grown heavier than ever. Unexpectedly, a new destination rose in popularity: the United Arab Emirates. Dubai especially became the new dream. Just 3 hours away from India, culturally familiar, no extreme time zones, and most importantly, no income tax. In fields like IT, mid-level engineers in Dubai could earn 45 to 50 lakh rupees annually, tax-free. That often translated into more real savings than an equivalent job in the US after taxes. And unlike Western countries, the UAE does not trap workers in endless visa lotteries or decades-long waiting queues. Here, Indians found not just opportunity, but dignity. So where does this leave the young Indian of today? The truth is clear. The dream of going abroad at any cost is not what it used to be. For some, it still burns. For others, it is fading fast. But one fact is undeniable. The world has changed. The West is no longer as open, no longer as welcoming, and no longer as rewarding as it once was. Visas are harder, permanent residency is a mirage, healthcare costs are crushing, and legal compliance traps hang over every migrant's head. So perhaps the real question is not, how can Indians chase the American dream? The real question is, why should they? The world has always called the Indian worker, and for decades, Indians have answered that call, leaving their homeland behind. But today, for the first time, India itself is calling louder, stronger, clearer. The choice for the next generation is no longer one-sided. Yes, those who still dream of building a life abroad can and will find their way. With courage, resilience, and strategy, success can be carved out anywhere in the world. But now, for the first time in modern history, there is an equally powerful option at home: to rise without leaving, to build without uprooting, to succeed without compromise. The dream is not only out there anymore. The dream is here. The dream is India, and it is waiting to be claimed.